Hi, welcome to Conversation 43. Today, I want to ask, how would you answer the question, how should we view human life? Here's the answer we'll explore together. We should view human life as sacred because unlike other beings, humans were created in the image of God. So let's break that down a little bit. We view human life as really important because we know where we come from. Now, there are some people who do not value lives the way that Scripture and our Christian morals tell us to. There are people who think just because someone has not been born yet or has gotten to an age where they're no longer productive in the workforce, that their lives no longer hold value. Now, these thoughts, they should sicken us, they should dishearten us, and they shouldn't be something we agree with at all, because we know through what Scripture teaches and through the person of God that all life, whether born or old, has value. And we learn this from Genesis 1:26 through 27. When God creates humanity, it says, "Then God said, 'Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over the creatures that move along the ground.' So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them." So how could we go and tell the potter that what he has made has no value? How cruel that would seem to us. So we should view human life as sacred. According to the Bible, humans aren't just physical beings. We're not just a combination of chemicals and cells that got lucky in some evolution process. The Bible teaches us that humans are very special, that God created us for a very important purpose, and he made us in his image. It's kind of like when a child looks like his mother or father. The child is made in their image. You see them grow up and reflect even more of the not just physical traits, but the personality of their parents. Being made in God's image is why human life is sacred. And sacred means that something is spiritual and holy, just like our God is spiritual and holy. So we should view human life as sacred because unlike other beings, one of the most interesting truths about humans is that when we die, we don't just stop existing. At death, our spirits may separate from our physical bodies, and we get to keep living. Every human you've ever met will keep on living beyond death in one way or the other. Nothing else around you will live quite like that. Buildings will eventually collapse, trees eventually die, even countries and empires crumble. But people, those made in God's image, they last forever. And this is one of the reasons why humans are just so special to God. We should view human life as sacred because unlike other beings, humans were created. Now, we just read in Genesis 1:26 through 27 how God created us. This means that if we want to live good lives, we need to live as we were created to live. God intended for every single person to live as he created them to live, in unity, in harmony, and in purpose with him. So then we should view human life as sacred because unlike other beings, humans were created in the image of God. So we've talked a couple times now about how humans are created in this image of God. Humans are the only beings in creation who can make such a claim. That makes humans extra special in comparison when everything else in God's creation may have the same love, may have attention put into it, but does not reflect him to the rest of creation. That's also why we need to make sure that we think of humans, whether we like them or dislike them, whether we see what their purpose is or not, that we see them as valuable, as sacred. We were all created in God's image, and that means even the people we don't get along with have value. So let's recap. How would you answer the question, how should we view human life? Our answer? We should view human life as sacred because, unlike other beings, humans were created in the image of God. Now, as a family, complete the Continuing Conversations handout and join us this week as we reflect on the sanctity of life.